y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanasia. This is your first time watching. Here on my channel, I focus on fashion, beauty, lifestyle, and I also do a little bit of DIY. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below so that you don't miss another upload. So today I'll be showing you all how I did my makeup, the makeup look that I wore in my previous two videos because they were both on the same day, and someone asked to see how I did my makeup and what I used. So this will be my first time showing y'all how I do my makeup, and this is just like exactly what I used to film because that wasn't really my everyday makeup. But okay, we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So I already primed my face, and I also already did my skincare, and that included moisturizer, SPF, and I will put those on the screen. And also I'm using this mirror from Vanity Planet. If you see me looking down, I purchased it from Bed Bath & Beyond, and it was like only like $25. And this will be a voiceover because I like to play music while I do my makeup, and I feel like it'd be kind of awkward if I just like did my makeup, talk, whatever. Or I could just turn this into a get to know me because I never did one of those. But yeah, we're just gonna do that for now. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to moisturize my lips using the Laniege-Lip Sleeping Mask, but normally I use any type of chapstick that I have. Then I go in with my Born This Way concealer, and I like to spot correct my hyperpigmentation, and I like to do that before I do my brows so it can dry down. So next I take my spoolie and I comb through my brows, and this is a Morphe spoolie and angled liner brush that I'm using. Using the angled side of the brush, I like to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills-DIPBROW pomade in dark brown to create an arch in my eyebrows, because I feel like I don't have really an arch anymore because I feel like I messed them up. So I like to create an arch, and I feel like my brows are pretty thick, so I don't really try to like put a lot of pomade throughout my brows. So the focus is definitely like at the arch in the back of the brows. At this point, I feel like the concealer has dried down enough, so I take my beauty blender, which is damp, and I just go ahead and blend out the concealer all over my face, and make sure that I focus it right in the area that I put the concealer at, because that needs the most coverage. So back to brows. So I take my Morphe angled liner brow brush, and I use that same concealer, the Born This Way, and I carve out my brows and try to clean them up. Now I'm just going to blend out that concealer under my brows and then on top of my brows, and I'm using a Morphe round contour brush. This is not necessary, but I felt like some of like the arch kind of got lost in the concealer, so I go back through my brows just to make sure that I didn't lose anything. Next, I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to use my Milani-Conceal and Perfect in 135 medium beige. So I'm going to focus that at the tear duct and then at the end of my eye. Also, I'm going to use it on my nose, my chin, and on my forehead. After I finish doing that, I'm going to take my Born This Way in Sand, that concealer, and I'm going to use that in the middle of my eye where I did not put any concealer. So while we let that dry down, I'm going to go ahead and do my contour. So I'm going to contour using the Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Wear makeup stick, and this is a foundation, and I'm using shade 500. And I like to focus my contour on my cheekbone, so I do a little bit higher. And when I do my nose contour, I like to only focus it at the top of my nose, and then I'll just drag it down, so I'm not using that much product. For my nose contour, I like to blend it out using my fingers because I feel like I have more control and I can make sure that it is exactly where I want it to be at. Then I take that same round contour brush that I used earlier, and I'm going to take that to blend out my nose contour because it has some of that concealer still on it, so I feel like it blends better. Now it's time to blend out the rest of the contour, so I use my beauty blender to do that. Now it's time to blend out the concealer, so I'm using a Sigma Beauty Soft Blend Concealer brush, and the Milani concealer really does dry down fast, so I'm really working fast with trying to blend this out because I let it sit for too long. The reason why I blend out my contour first instead of my concealer is because I like to make sure that I have the placement of my contour correct, and then also I don't like to drag my concealer too far down. I like to focus it in that one area. Then I like to blend that contour and concealer together. I don't really want to have any harsh lines, so that's why I use the beauty blender to focus that. And then I realize I have more product, therefore I go back to the brush and I continue to blend out. And I do spend a lot of time blending out my concealer. I want to make sure that everything is blended well and there's no harsh lines. Now it's time for foundation. So I'm using Milani-Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer in Warm Sand. I'm going to focus that at the portion of my face where I did not contour nor conceal. So I'll do that around like my mouth and more of my jawline and focus it there. And then I also focus the foundation between the concealer and the contour on my forehead as well. And I found out doing my foundation this way that I use less product, so that's why I use this method. And the brush I'm using to blend out my foundation is the Sonia Kashuk flat top foundation brush that you can find at Target. So I felt like the contour got lost in the foundation, so I'll go back in, I contour again with that same Lancôme foundation stick, and I blend that out. I also do the same with the concealer because I really want a bright under eye, so I go back in with the Milani concealer under the eye, and then I'll blend that out. So I forgot to hit record, so now I'm going to set my face using the Sacha Buttercup setting powder and the Laura Mercier loose setting powder in translucent, and I mix those together and I apply that using a Laura Mercier velour puff. So I put that under my eyes, my forehead, my nose, my chin, and around my jawline. To powder contour, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit, medium to tan, and I'm just going to take those two shades I'm showing y'all, and I'm going to mix those together, and I'm just going to contour my face. And I'm using a tapered powder brush from Borghese, and this is a old brush. You see the red tape that's on it. I was trying to keep it together, and this is literally my favorite brush for contour. For bronzer, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Sun Stalk'r bronzer in Caramel Cutie, and I'm using a Morphe Detailed Contour Powder Brush to blend that out. I also use that bronzer on my nose as well, and then I just take my finger to blend that out. To make sure everything is blended together well, I dip my Real Techniques powder brush in the bronzer and I just blend everything together with that brush, and I just really take my time doing that. And the Real Techniques powder brush is another one of my favorite brushes just to blend everything out with. It works so well. So for eyeshadow, I use my Fenty bronzer, and to apply that, I use my Sigma tapered blending brush. So for a all over face powder, I use the Sephora Micro Smooth powder in tan, and I apply that with a e.l.f. powder brush. Now I'm going to use a Real Techniques buffing brush, and I'm going to wipe away all of the setting powder that's left on my face. So for blush, I'm using the Colourpop Karrueche Collab K-Pop Super Shock Cheek in Flush. This is a old blush, so they don't make this anymore. And I also use a blush brush, and I don't know the name of the brand that makes this brush, but I really do like that K-Pop blush, and I'm looking for another one that's similar. So if you know of one, put that down in the comments. So I'll go back with that Real Techniques powder brush, and I just blend everything together. So I like to set my face in between like doing steps, so I start doing that right now with the Lancôme Fix It Forget It 24-hour makeup setting mist, and I just put that all over my face, and I like to blend that in, and then I like to pat that into my face with a Real Techniques sponge. And I really do like this sponge because of like the flat end of the sponge. It makes it easier to pat everything in. So for mascara, I'm using the Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara, and it's one of my favorite mascaras to use. So for highlighter, I like to use the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Highlighter Duo in Afternoon Snack and Mo Honey, and I use both shades. I like to focus that on my high points of my cheek, and I like to use the Morphe Pointed Contour Brush to apply that. So I'll go over my brows again with the Benefit Gimme Brow Brow Gel, and I also use that for the moles to put that back on my face. Now I'll go back in with that Lancôme Fix It and Forget It setting spray for my face, and I let that dry down. And you see that I use a lot of that setting spray. So now it's time for one of my favorite lip combinations that I have ever made. So I start off by blotting off that Laniege-Lip sleeping mask with a paper towel, and then I go in with my MAC lip pencil in Cork, and I just line my lips. So now I just blend the lip liner together, and I also use a Real Techniques lip brush to do that, so I can kind of like focus it a little bit. Now I take my Stunna lip paint by Fenty Beauty in Unbutton, and I focus that in the middle of my lips. And this Stunna lip paint is literally one of my favorite nudes to use, and it looks really great on brown skin. So now I go back in with my lip pencil in Cork by MAC, and I just go back over my lips because I feel like I took away some of the lip pencil. So next I go in with my Morphe lip gloss, and this is in the shade Chill, and I focus that in the middle of my lips as well. Next, I take my Nabla Viper Lip Plumper and I put that on my Real Techniques lip brush, and I focus that at the top of my lips and also a little bit at the bottom. This part is like totally optional. If you don't want to use a lip plumper, I would just use a clear gloss. So that is the tutorial of how I did my makeup in the last 2 videos that I put out. I hope y'all enjoyed. I know it did look a little crazy in some parts, but I feel like it came together fine. If y'all want everyday makeup look, please let me know, because I do change out some of my products and some of the techniques that I do. So please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so that you don't miss another upload. Now I'll see you all next time. Bye, y'all.